Hi everyone, welcome to another FPL video on my channel. This is my Gameweek 21 preview where I'm going to look ahead to Gameweek 21, look at what transfer options I'm currently looking at, and also look at how we did in Gameweek 20. If you find the video helpful in any way, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed, as I make videos every week on what I'm doing with my team, which could be helpful in terms of decisions that you can make in your team going forward. Looking back at Gameweek 20, I finished with 89 points, minus 4 because I took a hit heading into the game week. I transferred out Mitoma, I brought in Olise because I was also looking at Garnacho, but I decided against that and rather brought in Olise, who returned 15 points for me in Gameweek 20, which looked to have been one of my best decisions yet. I transferred out Lucas Dean, who was flagged with an injury, brought in Moreno, who was playing at home against Burnley. I was hoping for some returns from there as well, but unfortunately we didn't get anything as Aston Villa conceded 2 goals against Burnley. In defence, I had Gabriel, who only returned a single point, Kyle Walker, who returned a clean sheet finally after a very long time, as he was taken off just after 60 minutes playing at home against Sheffield United. I had Petrovic in goal, who was playing away against Luton. Looked to have been a very comfortable fixture until late in the game when Chelsea conceded 2 goals, only returning 2 points. In midfield, Cole Palmer retaining 18 points after returning from suspension, Bukayo Saka with 7 points, Mo Salah, who was my vice-captain, returning 18 points, which was massive for managers that went for him as a captain. I went for Watkins, who returned 16 points, so I'm quite happy with the decisions that I made. It's not every week you have both captains returning massive scores. I also had Anthony Gordon, who returned 5 points in my team playing against Liverpool. So an overall good performance from the team. I'm happy I took the hit because I think if I had not taken the hit to bring in Olise, I could have been 15 points short from where I am currently, and I could have easily been on the back of another red arrow. So happy with the green arrow that I currently have this game week. I was going into the game week on about 1.9 million. I think the hit and a few decisions the here and there helped us, and I'm currently on about 1.5 million. So 14 points off the top million. So looking forward to game week 21. Hopefully we still make better decisions and we can get more returns going forward. So something that I think we need to talk about is we need to look at Alfonso Areola. Unfortunately, I've managed to bench him in the last 3 game weeks. He had Manchester United in game week 18 where he returned 8 points. He then played Arsenal away where he returned 10 points. He then played Brighton in game week 20 where he returned 11 points. He has Sheffield United in game week 21 and then he's got Bournemouth in game week 22. Looking at the fixtures that West Ham had, it's 3 game weeks that maybe we could expect West Ham to concede, but they did manage to keep clean sheet in the last 3 game weeks. Now, with the 2 fixtures that they have, Sheffield United and Bournemouth, those are the fixtures that we expect them to actually keep clean sheets. And I'm probably looking to just use Areola as my keeper going forward. He's only at 4.2 million, selected by 34.1% of managers. If you don't really own Areola, I think it's someone that I could be looking at as a very good goalkeeping option. At 4.2, he's quite cheap, to be honest. I brought in Petrovic when I transferred out Pickford, hoping that Chelsea had a very good run of fixtures and I could get some returns from there, but unfortunately he didn't. Areola, who was on my bench, he's been getting massive points in the last 3 games. So going forward, I think Areola is someone that I'm just going to put on my goalkeeping spot. I will not make any changes. I'll just leave him there and hopefully he keeps on keeping clean sheets and getting as much saves as he's been getting in the last few games. So that's that for Game Week 20. Looking at Game Week 21, this is the current state of the team. Areola in goal, of course, away against Sheffield United. In defense, Kyle Walker, Gabriel and Moreno. Cole Palmer, Saka, Gordon and Olise in midfield. Holland, Pedro and Watkins up front. So I have Olise, who is currently flagged with a hamstring injury and a 75% chance of playing. I'm not really right about that. I think there's 2 weeks that maybe he could recover or not. Holland is set to return in Game 21 when they play against Newcastle away. And Mo Salah is out for international duty where Egypt are going to be playing in the African Cup of Nations. So a few decisions that I need to make going forward. I have a single transfer to use. I haven't made any changes yet because there's FA Cup fixtures from Friday for the whole weekend, so there's not Premier League football, but rather there's FA Cup fixtures. There's more information that we can gather before we make any transfers. I understand other managers are moving early, but Mo Salah is quite expensive. Even if he drops, or even if you've got Son, there's going to be enough money to get any player that you want. And I think it's very important that we wait and gather as much information from the FA Cup fixtures to see who's available and who's not, because there could be injuries that could happen, which could mean we need to make other decisions in our team. So at the moment, I haven't made any change. I'm hoping that after the FA Cup fixtures, then I get more information, then I make my decisions after that. At the moment, with Mo Salah, he's someone that I'm definitely going to be transferring out. I'm not going to hold on to him and hoping that he returns soon and then I play him back in the team. I think I'm going to use the funds to bring other players in my team, and the first option that I'm looking at is Diogo Jota. Now, Jota at 7.7 million, he plays Bournemouth, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then Burnley in the next 4 games. So that's someone that I'm looking at as another Liverpool asset who always looks good when he comes on. And with Salah going away, maybe Jota could be in the starting lineup. So that's someone that I'm looking at as a possible Salah replacement heading into Gameweek 21. The second player that I'm looking at is Jarrod Bowen. I transferred out Jarrod Bowen at some point when he was flagged with an injury, and I haven't brought him back yet. Bowen plays Sheffield United, Bournemouth, United, and then Arsenal in the next 4 games. Now, for Gameweek 21, Sheffield United and then Bournemouth for Gameweek 22, I think those are fixtures that I could actually expect West Ham to get some returns in, and Bowen is someone that's been returning week in, week out. Of course, he's blanked in Gameweek 20 when they played at home against Brighton, but I think those fixtures are fixtures that we can expect to get some returns from. So Salah to Jarrod Bowen is also an option. I could also be looking at a Man City asset. I've actually put De Bruyne on there at 10.2 million, but I think Foden is someone that's looked bright in the previous game weeks. Man City play Newcastle in Game 21. They've got Burnley at home in Game 22, Brentford in Game 23, and then they play Everton in Game 24. A very decent run of fixtures for Man City as well. Maybe Newcastle is not really the easiest of fixtures. As much as everyone expects them to concede more, just like they did against Liverpool, I think they will get better, and it's not going to be a battering like they've had in the last few games. So Newcastle, Burnley, Brentford, Everton is a good shot to go for a Man City asset. I've got De Bruyne on there, but I think we'll have to see if he actually plays in the FA Cup or in Game 21 before we make any decisions further, but Foden is also a shout. Finally, I could be looking at Richarlison as another asset that I could look at as a Mo Salah replacement. Now, Spurs play Manchester United in Game 21, they've got Brentford in Game 22, Everton in Game 23, and then they've got Brighton in Game 24. Not a very good run of fixtures, and I think Spurs will be short. They will not have Son going forward as he's going to the Asian Cup, so I think there's something that we have to look out for. So I think it's just about gathering as much information as we can before we make any decisions going forward. At the moment, I only have Mo Salah as the player that I have to make a decision on, but I've got a lot of assets that I'm currently looking at as my possible replacements. This is where I currently am in terms of what I'm going to do with my team heading into Game 21 and what other options I'm looking at as the Mo Salah replacements heading into the next game week. Obviously, no transfers have been made yet. Waiting for the FA Cup fixtures to conclude to see if there's any other injuries in the team and need to be attended to. But that's it from me in this video. If you found the video helpful in any way, please do leave a like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.